whose bright idea was it to come to Discord anyway? It was Flat Caps. DJ Chong. Oh my gosh, DJ. I miss you, man. It was so good. DJ, I don't know if I said this. I did say this. I thought it. DJ, of everybody that, was on Discord at the time, I don't know if yesterday, I've known you longer than anybody else that was on the TCD Discord server. You are like my lifelong friend, my friend. And so DJ, man, I met you at a leadership network thing in 2008, 2009. Dallas. That's right. It was at Ellen headquarters in Dallas. I was trying to think where we were. California came to mind, but you're right. It was Dallas. Man, it was good times. That was a long time ago. It was a multi-site, and it was funny. Eric Geiger at the time was the executive pastor of Christ Fellowship. He was the author. He was the reason I was there, but he was the author of Simple Church, and I just remember he was really kind of taken by you. Like he just was really impressed by you, TJ, and he. We talked about. I remember talking about you kind of off the clock at a lunch or dinner or something one night as we were debriefing from Leadership Network, and DJ, my executive pastor Eric Geiger, made the statement. Yeah, that guy DJ Chong has a mega church worth of people following him on Twitter, because you had like 1,500 or something like that or whatever, like it was over 1,000, and he's like, think about it. A mega church worth of people are listening to DJ Chong on Twitter. And he just kept going on about how, impressive. Now he's at, freaking Mariners Church and everybody. And, he kind of blew up on Twitter X himself. And I kind of gave up on Twitter, but X, whatever it is. But, man, DJ, it's great to see you. Megan, Sarah, Wes, Joe, Flat Cap Whitebeard. Listen, thank you for jumping here on the stream with me. We're celebrating, and I went into this like 5-minute deal, but evidently nobody heard me. We're celebrating what was a great day yesterday with the Church Digital, with the official public launch of Discord. Like you and I, half of us, Whitebeard, we met on Discord. I guess maybe a month ago with the soft launch of Discord, and the Discord Church Digital has been, hanging out slowly. I guess we've had about, Whitebeard's going to give me the official stats because, that's what he does. How many people did we have with the soft launch? We had like up to 80, 78, 82, 84 yesterday. And then with the public launch yesterday, we almost doubled that. I think we're at 164 at this point and still heading north. And so, man, we're really excited. Whitebeard was on Mighty? Really? That is news to me. I was not aware that Whitebeard was on Mighty Networks. I probably wasn't looking closely enough. Mighty, I mean, I love Mighty. Mighty served its purpose, but in the grand news of things, I think the Discord, the Discord. Listen, I sound like an old man. Back in my day, no, but the Discord just gives us a lot of more opportunities than I think Mighty does. It's funny. Actually, I really got like prophetical talking about this with somebody one day, because it was like, Mighty Networks doesn't have a community that you're in. Like it creates the community and you invite people into it. Like there's not random people kind of walking around. It's just whatever you make of it. Unlike Discord that has people in it. And so it's, and I basically I equated this is a stretch. So don't shoot the messenger here. But, Mighty Networks is the equivalent of the church building, where it's like, hey, come to the church building to get ministered to. And it's like, the place of refuge and the campus pastors and everybody hiding in the building, being in the building and not out in the community where it's at. Whereas, I kind of equated it to Discord is in a community. Facebook is in a community, and there's opportunities to engage in dialogue direct with people. Hey, Melanie, direct with people in that space. And so that's one of the reasons why, I love Discord. And plus, they have this like really cool like streaming thing now in Discord that feels a lot like Clubhouse back in the day. I loved Clubhouse because it just was so awesome to engage with people, direct on the platform. So a couple days in, we've been really good here with Discord. Now it's interesting. I said this and nobody could hear me earlier. I did not sleep at all last night. I didn't sleep at all last night. So you're going to get a lot of like random crap from me today with the stream. You're going to get a lot of not really focusing. A lot of stories. I tell more stories when I'm tired, and I don't have. I was going to write up a script for me to kind of focus and some points to kind of talk through. And to be honest, I laid down. There's a bed right over there. I'm in my guest bedroom, if you don't know, and my dog is actually laying on said bed right now. She's asleep, and she cuddled. I laid down on the bed at 9:30. Did not set an alarm, so I'm just gonna take like a 10-minute nap, and I literally woke up at 10:54. And so literally rolled out of bed, put on my retro the church digital logo cat. My AVL company, TCD Integration, still actually uses this logo, so it's still legit. But we definitely had a great day yesterday. Yes, Barbara, this is a not a new branded hat. We need to get the merch store launched and get some stuff out there because I need my newly branded the Church Digital logo hat, and blacked out, of course, because that's the way we roll. I'm also wearing monkey. What is this? Monkey around. This is my church in a bar shirt hat tip to Joey Santos. Hey, there's the new logo. Somebody just get that uploaded to theChurch.shop and get something. That is a beautiful logo, Sarah. Who was the artist? Sarah is, if you don't know, Barbara Carnero Hilmy is the our connections director, overseas communications, and Barbara has this incredible team of remote workers that does the incredible job. I think they're all in South America. I want to say, if not, most of them are. And Sarah is one of them. And so Sarah's on Barbara's team doing. Sarah, if I'm correct, mostly social media, right? Like I don't want to like lie here, but does a lot of our social media work, and is really now active with the church and dove into the community. Like, some of the other guys and gals on the team are like, hey, that's nice. We'll watch from a distance, which listen, I'm fine with that. That don't bother me. But Sarah's been like, hey, let's be part of the community. Let's dive in. Let's get to meet people. And you can see Sarah's got that little icon, art director. And she is an amazing designer. That is correct. Visual. So, Sarah, did you actually do the logo? Is your handiwork the logo? That's what I want to know. Yes. Okay. So, thank you, Sarah. I really do like the logo. Like, this is not me just shooting blind here. Everybody, like, in chat right now, if you don't know where chat is in Discord, let's do a training. In the upper right-hand corner, if you're new, you'll see a chat bubble, like a text messaging bubble. Go and click on that. Chat will open up on the side. But I want everybody that's listening to this to grab the mouse and go ahead and do a little heart emoji when Sarah said yes, because Sarah did a freaking incredible job on the computer. Yeah, if you're on your phone, I don't know what it is. Whitebeard can tell you what to do, but I don't. I've never streamed on a phone. Like, I just don't do that. But Sarah did a great job designing it. Sarah, I'm glad you did. You cost me a relationship, though. My designer. So Barbara wanted her designer to take a crack at it, and I was like, sure, no problem. Go and give it a shot, but it's going to cost me a friendship. And so I've got a guy. I'm not going to say his name, but I've got a guy that's done all my logo work for all my companies for like 7 years, and so he saw the rebrand and he's like, oh, who did you rebrand? Why do you hate me so much? And so it's cool. We'll patch it up. I want to actually, Sarah. I don't know if I'm gonna. I may have you. I may have Barbara's team redo one of my other businesses is due, and so it's good. I have this is not a commercial for Barbara's company, Word Revolution, but I will 100% endorse Word Revolution. Um, it's interesting. Like I said, the past couple of days, the past 2 months, with public launch of the rebrand, public launch of the website, public launch of Discord. It was interesting. I told Barbara yesterday, like I know what the full value of Barbara is to the Church Digital team because I spent years not having Barbara on the Church Digital team and have struggled to get really alignment in communication. And as a former communications director, long ago, I don't know. I would not call my communications chops sharp or fresh, but I do know a thing or two in that space. I had a vision for what I wanted, and Barbara is the first. See you, Whitebeard. Would love an update, man. Be praying for you. I would, Barbara is really the first person that I've ever in a communications front that I've trusted 100% with anything and everything. Usually it's been trust but verify in mindset, and it's just been so good. And case in point, I don't know, Barbara. I'll let you and Sarah make this call. I am so happy with our May the 4th be with you social media post that's coming tomorrow to the Church Digital. If you want to leak that in chat right now, I'm cool with that. If you want to not leak that, I'll let you make the call. If it magically shows up in chat, that's great. If not, ladies and gentlemen, the social media post the Church Digital is going to be sharing tomorrow on its social media channels is so epic in honor of, May the 4th, Star Wars. I almost like put on, I didn't have like my Star Wars hoodie was not clean. I had one one of my hoodies was clean, and it was like, no, I don't want to wear that one. So I'll geek out tomorrow for May the 4th. I've got two dogs. I've got Ray Skywalker, and so Ray's the good dog. If you ever hear a dog bark, that's not Ray. Ray will be the one that when something happens, like outside the house, like the pool guy comes to clean the pool, or somebody's at the front door. Ray's the 100-pound black lab, mutt. But Ray will be the one that will tackle me in fear of what's happening outside. There you go. She shared it. Look at this post on Discord or right now in chat. A couple disciples are worth more than a multitude of followers. And they've got the scene from that's actually from Star Wars, the Disney ride. What's it called? I can't think of it right now, but it's an incredible Disney ride, incredible experience. You walk out, yeah, Rise of the Resistance. Wes in Orlando knows all this stuff. Best one, it is literally the best ride in all of Disney. Like I've not done Tron, but it'd have to be freaking epic. I mean, we're talking multiple stages of epicness with Rise of the Resistance. So good, and that's such a great scene. Like I cried in that scene where you walk out of the I'm not going to spoil it, but you walk out of the little spaceship and all those starships or all those guys are right there. Oh, so good. Oh my gosh. And so thank you. All that to say, Barbara, Sarah, what you guys are contributing to the Church Digital and the steps that we've made in a very short amount of time is incredible. And I'm so excited. All right. Yeah, it's literally it's a 30-minute ride. It's in like three different rides in one. And at some point, if you've not done this, people, you gotta go to Disneyland or Disney World just to do it. But it's so what was I gonna say? They do a thing on that ride that even to this day, logistically, I am not sure how it's done. Like, as in the logistical mapping of, okay, look, you're not flying up into space, really, when the spaceship takes you. You're not actually leaving planet Earth. But logistically, how is everything laid out? in such a way that you experience the different scenarios that you're experiencing. It's like when you do the you may not realize this, but when you do the um, haunted mansion in Magic Kingdom at Disney World, you're actually underground. Like it takes you down. And when in the elevator, when you're supposed to be going up, you're actually going down. Or when the room is stretching, you're actually falling. And so that's how that's the secret. That once you figure that out, there's all sorts of oh my gosh, that's so cool how they kind of layer everything together. And so that is, I mean, we're talking all about Star Wars. I wanted to geek out and Disney. I wanted to geek out talking about Discord. It's a great day yesterday for the Church Digital Discord. By the way, thank you everybody. There was on top of all the love spent on, be ready to spend $5,000, but yeah, it's awesome. On top of all the love here on Discord with everybody coming in, and Chino, you were at yesterday. You were at Disney World. No. Busy day yesterday. No, he's talking about Discord. You were at Disney World recently, last week. Yeah, just talking Discord. I'll let me. I got to stop talking Disney. I can geek out here. Was it 3 weeks ago? Okay, I didn't realize it was that long ago. So one of the highlights last time I was at Disney World, last story, was I flew up to Orlando to meet with Bernie McPeely and Roz, who was doing some work with the Christ Fellowship at the time. I'm sorry, with the Church Digital at the time. The Christ Fellowship. Oh my gosh, that's a Freudian slip. With the Church Digital at the time, and the three of us were. So we're walking around, and Bernie's like, "Hey, let's go to some restaurant in the middle of like nowhere and actually have a talk." And I was like, "Oh, that's horrible. Like if we're gonna like spend 5 hours just like hanging out together talking, let's actually be on Disney property." And so we snuck on to oh my gosh, what hotel was it? Boardwalk? I think we snuck onto the Boardwalk Hotel. I'm a Disney Vacation Club member, and so I was able to real quick book a reservation at the restaurant to have lunch. And so it's like, okay, hey, if we've got lunch, we can just hang out there all day. And so we ended up, they would let us in the park, and we had lunch together, and lunch was cheaper because we were discounted. And it's like, oh yeah, man, that was good. Good graphic there, Flat Cap. So good. All right, Discord yesterday. No more distractions, people. We're already 20 minutes into this thing, celebrating the thing, and I've not even talked about the thing we're celebrating. I was so wired last night I couldn't sleep. Oh my gosh, so good, so exciting. Thank you for a lot of the distracted easily I am. Yes. Hashtag Baby Yoda must die. Right there, that's the distraction. I was actually known a couple years when Yoda when that first came out. There's oh my gosh, actually Justin Nava joined the Discord yesterday. Justin Nava runs a Facebook group and a podcast called Nerd Pastors. And man, it's him, and it was Seth. Some of you guys may know Seth Muse. Barbara, you may know Seth Muse. He's a communications guy, was a church communications guy. And so they run this nerd podcast and nerd community, just talking about all sorts of geeky stuff. And somehow they asked me to come on and do a review with them when they were doing the season 1 review of Mandalorian season 1. And so I came on this thing, and just long story short, this is public record. I hate Baby Yoda. Like Baby Yoda must die. And honestly, I think the show could be much more epic. The storylines could be more powerful if the freaking Mandalorian wasn't stuck around babysitting this thing all the time. And so there were yeah. Sorry, Sarah. Don't feel like you have to use that hashtag on TCD or whoever's doing that. But Baby Yoda must die. Hashtag Baby Yoda. If you look that up, you're going to see a lot of me and a lot of people talking about me, because I was mocked, I was ridiculed, I was praised, I was congratulated. Like for about, I'm trying to think, that was maybe 2021. Yes, it was right after season 1, whenever it came out. It was maybe a couple months where it was like anybody and everybody within the circles was, oh, plus it was like COVID lockdown season. We were bored. Like, I just wanted to talk about something different other than like Fidgetal. Hey, you're welcome to Stadia Fidgetal. My name is Jeff Reed. Well, we're glad, I'm kidding. Like, that was a long time ago. I love making up words. Fidgetal at the time. Multimodal, I still use that one a lot. Multiple models of church, really challenging the physical church to understand how to do physical, how to do digital, how to do micro, how to do virtual reality. Don't put all the eggs in one basket. And so multiple modes, multiple multimodal. With Resi, we're doing digitally resilient now. How is your church digitally resilient? I like owning words, making my own words up, my own language. Cool. So Discord. Now I'm 24 minutes in. This is what happens when I don't sleep and you don't give me a script. So good. So anyway, yesterday was a great day. So much outpouring on Discord, as well as people, a lot of emails, a lot of replies back. And so I was so tired yesterday of sitting in this chair typing away on Discord. There's the meme of Jim Carrey from it's a animated GIF. Oh, what's the movie? Almighty God, I think, when he's sitting at the keyboard and he's just going crazy like this. Bruce Almighty, thank you. Yeah, Almighty God. That's a hymn, not a movie. And but he is God at that moment. Or no, is he God actually, or is he an angel? Yeah, I don't. It's been a minute since I've watched the Jim Carrey movie. But that was Andy and I yesterday. God bless Andy. So everyone knew in the church digital, like within leadership, we knew that this email was going out. Like we had planned it, discussed it. It did not go. We ran into an issue with our DNS. Long story short, that we just didn't go out when it was supposed to go out. And so once I got everything fixed, was able to send it out. But I said this at some point. I made the mistake. Normally, when you send a mass email to 5,000 people, whatever it was, 5,200, you can either send it across different time zones, so it breaks it up, so not everybody gets the email at one time, or you tell the email system, the server, to send 100 at a time every 5 minutes, so it's you don't put strain on the server, and you don't like put strain on the people with any of the call to actions. And so I of course I didn't do any of that. Like I didn't click that box. And so, all of you, all these new people coming onto Discord, which was awesome. Totally love it. But like for a little bit, we broke the church digital Discord yesterday because there were so many people coming on at the same time. Discord thought we were spam, like we were spamming it. People were rating us, like thought you guys were, malicious intent attacking. And so Andy was having to like manually validate a lot of you coming in because the system just wasn't didn't like the fact all of you were coming in. There's a lot of distrust in the world today. It's like I can't even write a check anymore, or deposit a check without people freaking out, without the bank freaking out. I don't know why it's important, but it was really funny that we broke the thing the first day, and so. But it's working good now, and next time I send a mass email to 5,200 people with one call to action saying, come join the Church Digital Discord, I'll make sure to check the box that spreads it out over time so we don't break Andy Mage in the process. But everything's been great. And excited about where we're going with Discord moving forward. And so even the Church Digital in general. I've some stories from yesterday. There were some really good ones. There was there's the guy that I've not had a conversation with in a decade that jumps into Discord and says, "Hey, how you doing?" and shows up in my virtual office. There's oh my gosh, seeing all of those. I was seeing the bot ask the question, "Why are you here?" And email from Jeff, email from Jeff, email from Jeff, email from Jeff, email from Jeff. Jeff sent me an email. Maybe you could give a little bit more info, but that's okay. Email from Jeff's a great solution to that. But we got an email, or I got a scheduled through the website. Now, Barbara, who built the website, she was really passionate about, hey, Jeff, we need to put an assessment for a digital church planner. Like, what are some questions to ask to try to figure out if somebody wants to be a digital church planner? And so this was a couple months ago. And so she came up with some questions that I liked, and JMO asked some questions that I liked, and maybe I contributed something. I don't remember. But at the end of the day, there's a 10-question assessment on the Church Digital website, theChurch.digital. So you can go check that out, take it. And there's I guess it's an Easter egg. Like, if you score poorly on the test, it'll give you some advice, some simple steps to do. If you score moderately well on the assessment, it will give you some steps to do. And if you score very well on the assessment, if you like nail it, well, you get a link to schedule a meeting with Jeff. And so yesterday, in the midst of all of this, some guy I didn't know scheduled a meeting with me. Some guy I never heard of. Well, I guess it was some guy that was buried in the database, and so is reconnecting with things. And because there's so many people in the database, I may have met this guy at a conference or something, or sent an email by Barbara. And so anyway, I jump on this call with him, and so Andy's or a Flat Cap is sharing the link right there for it if you want to see it, or you can go to the Church Digital. But the heart of this conversation with this guy had actually never heard of, was not on the email blast. He was not on the email database. But he was new to Discord. He joined Discord today. He is in a different country. He's in Europe. And long story short, he's really passionate about a digital microchurch model. Microchurch, but utilizing digital. And this is something that we've talked about and done some research, and several people within the Church Digital are actually doing a similar type of model. Arguably, Whitebeard and some of the stuff that he's doing is somewhat of a digital micro model. And so, he's telling me a story, what he's interested in doing. And I'm like, I've never met this guy before, so I'm asking, a lot of questions, just trying to get to know him and his vision and his heart. It was just a really good conversation, and it was 8 or 9 o'clock his time, because he's literally on the other side of the planet in Europe. And but like I said, he was not on the email blast. And I asked him, I was like, so how did you find us? How'd you find me? How'd you find the Church Digital? I mean, I know you took the assessment, but how'd you get here? And he's like, well, I started talking to my physical church. Now, he told me I think the country is predominantly Lutheran. I don't know that to be true, so forgive me. I don't know if I want to slander a denomination that I don't know here. But he said the denomination is. He said he went to the church, his physical church, and started sharing and being real excited about what he felt like God was calling to do with a digital micro model and reaching people digitally. And he's like, yeah, they kind of made fun of me. They didn't understand it. They didn't get it. A couple of them laughed at me. And it's like, oh, I've been there. I 100% can relate to that. It's funny. I had a pastor ask me once how many ones and zeros I brought to Christ this week. I had a number of pastor. I was actually, my nickname, I was pastor of Photoshop for a while. That was interesting. My favorite one was Pixel Pastor. Actually, I didn't mind that one. I was like, I actually, you think you're mocking me? I'll take that. That's actually pretty interesting. So, I mean, I can relate to this guy. And honestly, he said, honestly, I'm just looking for a community. He had known of the Church Digital. He had found some of our resources on YouTube a while back. Had been to the old website months ago, and for some reason, just kind of had on his heart to visit the website again, which was not the old website, which was garbage. I built it. I can say that. It was the new website, and which had the singular focus that it does today to join the community on Discord, and the planter assessment and some other things. And so he took the planter assessment, he joined the community, and by the time he was having a conversation with me face-to-face on Zoom, same day that he stumbled on the website, he was also engaging into deep conversations on Discord with a number of our leaders and other people. And I saw like he's opening a thread and engaging with people like all over the place. And so, yeah, guys, this is that story right there. That's literally why we built the church digital. Like, the learning communities, that's nice. We want to help the physical church innovate. The stuff that we do for Resi and other organizations, that's awesome. That pays the bills. And I love, doing that stuff and helping others do that stuff. The stuff we did for Glue was great. But really the heartbeat of the church digital is helping that guy do something different when no one else around him is or that girl helping her do something different when no one's giving them support, and being the support, being the accountability, being their accountability to do what God's calling them to do. And it's interesting, and I didn't realize that these conversations would overlap like they did. But about the same time as we were, getting ready to launch Discord publicly, cool. It's about the same time we were doing that and having that conversation, getting ready to roll that out. I started getting itchy to roll out some of our new movement leaders, and which are high level volunteers that are really active in creating movement, where we, the Church Digital, would come alongside and and help encourage them and champion them and help them with what they're doing. And these are people like Sumi Beats here that's in the call, and some others that we don't have money. We're all broke here. So we're not a bank where we write checks, but prayer, encouragement, accountability, insight, direction, like these are the things that we provide on a regular basis. And so God had already kind of placed on my heart 2 or 3 new people that I was like, hey, would love to have a conversation, with y'all and see if you might be interested in coming up. And so those conversations happened yesterday as well. So we were, blowing up Discord, and at the same time, I started talking with the next round of leaders. And by the way, the next round of leaders with the Church Digital, I recommended 3, and then one of our other leaders, Nicole, actually recommended a couple as well. And so there were, 5 names that we were considering. And then yesterday, another name that I had considered in the past reached out off of the email I sent. And so 6 names kind of came back around. And it was really interesting. Off of those names, off of those leaders, and this was not intentional by any stretch, but what came about of it was an international flair. We're bringing on Whitebeard's one of them, and Whitebeard's got flair, but I wouldn't call him international. But we're talking to Utope Lala. A lot of you know him, Mistala from here. He's one. Yeah, Whitebeard's got flair. That's tattoo worthy right there. The Itope is coming on as one of our movement leaders, and then we started talking with others. One guy that's in Europe, another that's in India, another that's in Australia, and so we're in the midst of conversations with them, and all of a sudden it's like, hey, without even really intentionally trying, the Church Digital is going international. It's interesting. Hey, Inyi right now, and forgive me, sir, I'm going to butcher his name, but Inyi Chuwu. Like I said, I just know where I'm going to say that correct. I met with him. He told me how to say his name, and for the life of me, I can't remember. And so he's actually in Nigeria as well. And this is what's beautiful. Like, Inyi works with the Navigators, which is a great organization here in America and overseas. And so, like, discipleship, multiplication heavy, love what Navigators is doing. And so, but he's in Nigeria doing this right now. And so he reached out to us and said, hey, this is great timing. I'm glad you're here. He said, I want you to, when you're online, you're always default global. That's a great line, Wes. That is good. He's like, but Inyi's like, I want to learn how to be a digital missionary, digital evangelism. And, Jeff, you wrote a book. You wrote 2 books on that, but at least one on digital, one on virtual. And so it's like, what do you, can you help with this? And it's like, yeah, I can do that. I can, run a course and take his team through some ideas on digital evangelism. That's not a bad idea. Or I can get him connected to Tope, who, by the way, lives in the same country on the other side of the planet and is much more culturally aware. And so, why would I not want to platform Utope? By the way, Utope has been hanging out with the Church Digital for almost 5 years. Like, I met him very early COVID in 2020, and that dude has been soaking up what's been going on with the Church Digital, with the trainings, the courses, the movement system, our discipleship process, and he's doing it. He's leading people through it in Africa. And so we even had a conversation with him about him bringing in the people that he's leading into our Discord here. We're having conversations with Simon Dirks, who's leading Cloud Church in Germany, which is a German church planting network, which was birthed off of concepts from the Church Digital. Um, about him bringing his. We're meeting Tuesday to bring his German audience, his German church planters, in here to the Church Digital Discord. Like, it's already been approved. You just got to figure out logistics. And so, man, all of a sudden, Discord's going international, baby. And so, what does it look like for us to be a 6 continent movement? Digital pastors, digital planters, digital practitioners, um, challenging and supporting innovation within the church. That's why yesterday was a big day, because God had been doing something. Um, I mean, truly, I don't mean this. God had been doing something organically, even moving me, and I didn't see it. Oh, you know what? I mean, and honestly, Inyi was a great. I'm having a conversation with him, and I'm realizing, hey, why don't I just hook him up with Tope? So let's actually do that. Hey, Tope, actually, he's doing a lot of really good work. We need to actually get him connected better. Why don't we make him a movement leader? Okay, let's make him a movement leader. Let me ask leadership. Yeah, they're excited about that. Everybody seems to be great with it. So yeah, let's just do that. And not even realizing, some of these things are going to the chips are going to start to fall. I mean, I literally had conversations with people on 5 continents yesterday. Yesterday, through Discord, through email, or or Zoom, or Google Meet. Five continents, all five. We need one in South America. You know what? Yesterday I talked with people in through Sarah's team, through Barbara's team, but leadership in 5 continents. So, man, it's really exciting for me, the opportunities that we're seeing. I have always felt, and I've said this publicly many times, when we launched the church, so I launched the Church Digital in 2018. And that was really the content arm, and the Church Digital was kind of tied up with some other companies and organizations that I worked with. And so it kind of became complicated during the COVID season. I owned it, but didn't necessarily have all the freedoms or perceived freedoms to run my organization. And it really wasn't an organization. It was kind of a shell. It did not have a company for yeah, like it was complicated. Um, what the Church Digital was for a while. And so when I launched Digital Church Network, the church planting arm in 22, I was very public by saying, now Digital Church Network shut down, or it merged into the Church Digital. Instead of doing two things, decided to make it one thing. But I was very public when it launched in the first maybe 6 months or so, that I didn't feel like I was the long-term solution to lead Digital Church Network. Because of this. In a joke, like when we talk about going into TikTok, I kind of say the same thing. The face of a global movement, this is not the face. When I was asked to be, and I've told the story several times, but when I was asked to be the face of a virtual reality church planting movement in South Africa, um, this is not the face of a virtual reality church planting movement. It's not my desire to control things. Nor do I feel like a white bald man with a goatee. Like, I mean, even in America, that's got limitations on how far that's going in 2024. And so really my desire is to be far more decentralized, which is why I'm excited to have the conversations with Tope. Why I'm excited we're bringing Simon into in his planting organization into CloudKirch, bringing that in, decentralization and empowering of others for that. I've told the story where God, um, and I even told Inyi this. Um, God didn't tell me to start a church. Let's start a church. Oh, where did where I said this yesterday in a call and it freaked Andy out. No, I said this in a meeting yesterday and it freaked Andy out. This is a good story. This is a really funny story, but this is a very good story. So my wife and I were talking. We're talking about some of the leaders that we were bringing on, and we were talking at dinner the other night. And I said to her, I was like, "Yeah, some of these leaders we're bringing on, some of them have a lot of experience in this, as much or more than I have, and so excited to learn from them in this. And to be honest, some of them are very green, and so some of them are going to need some hand holding. They really haven't accomplished much, and so that doesn't make me nervous, but it's a challenge, and so it's just something to be aware of, kind of coming in. And my wife, the kids were sitting there, which made it even more awkward. But my wife's knee jerk, and she was unfiltered, and she'll laugh at me about telling the story. My wife, yeah, around the world, so good, Daft Punk. Um, my wife says, just offhand, she says, "Well, Jeff, you haven't accomplished anything." And I was like, "What? What do you mean? I haven't accomplished anything? We've freaking got 6,000 people in a database. I'm speaking regularly, writing 700 blogs, 300 podcasts. Multiple communities, over thousands of people just launched. Like, what do you mean I haven't accomplished anything?" And like, I think when she said that, and I was like, I'm really confused right now. She kind of took a step back because my face, my demeanor totally changed. And she's like, no, no, no. I mean, Jeff, you haven't planted a church. You haven't accomplished planting a church. I was like, oh, okay, that's an acceptable, statement to make. Like, I'm okay with that. Otherwise, I may be sleeping on the couch. We may have a fight at some point, but she did not mean it that way. But it was so funny in that moment. Um, her and my daughter, Caitlin, she's 15, high school freshman. We don't fight a lot. Amy and I, we really don't. We've adopted the philosophy. When we first got married, we fought a lot. And then I adopted the philosophy that if when we're fighting, when there's an argument, I learned the lesson back then to talk soft. And if she's yelling and I talk soft, eventually she'll feel sorry for yelling at me when I'm just calmly talking. And so I won all the arguments for months, because she didn't realize I was playing her by almost whispering as she was yelling, and until she figured out what it was. And so now there's a decade when the kids were really tiny babies, where we just kept whispering at each other. Like, when we got passionate, the angrier we got, the quieter we would talk at each other. We were like whisper yelling because we wouldn't actually want to yell, but we were passionately communicating softly. And now we're at the place where we just talk, and that's a lot of fun. But my daughter was in freak out mode. She's like, "Oh my gosh." Anytime something happens, Mom and Dad are going to get a divorce. And it's like, Caitlin, calm down. It's okay. Mom just said I didn't accomplish anything. She didn't mean that she doesn't love me. I don't think those two are related. I hope not. Now that I'm paying the mortgage, I mean, that always helps. But hey, listen, it's going to be exciting to see the church digital, a decentralized movement, extend into more and more communities, more and more contexts. As we look at what Stu's doing in virtual reality, as we look at what Nicole's doing with kids and students, as we look at what is potential, I mean, I joke about it. We came to Discord, and one of the leaders that really stepped up into Discord for us was Whitebeard. Whitebeard, if you've seen the guy, he's, doubles as Santa Claus in the month of December. ZZ Top, at some level. I think he said his beard is over 12 inches long. Like, he is not the typical face that I would think you would see on Discord. Yet he was the guy that really, within our leadership, is, I would dare say, maybe the most excited, if not one of the several most excited for us being here. And as we're looking at even ramping up into, my hope was, TikTok, and to try to really get this movement younger, to find more disenfranchised Christians that are passionate about wanting to do something but don't have the resources or the accountability or the ability to do it, to even give them permission to be able to run. Oh my gosh, I can't wait for what tomorrow looks like. There will come a day when it doesn't make sense. Maybe I'll always be on leadership at some level. And at some point, I don't even consider myself the leader of the Church Digital today. I founded this thing. I started this thing. Um, I'm blunt. When everybody on leadership told me, "Hey, we need to be on Discord now," I didn't agree with them. I'm glad I listened to them now, because seeing how when they went that way, and I was like not in alignment, I asked myself, do I want to upend everybody on this call? Do I believe enough in myself and what I think more than all of these people that I respect? Or do I think that maybe all these people I respect are seeing something different than I am? If it was 50-50, maybe like that would have been a harder decision. If it was like 70-30, maybe I don't know, but I probably still would have sided with the 70 crowd. But when it was 100%, like it's time, um, man, the surround yourself with smart people and listen to them. If you don't surround yourself with smart people, if you surround yourself with smart people and you don't listen to them, well, they're not going to be talking to you for much longer. I've seen that often in life. And so, man, this is where we are. The content, content's vitally important to digital plants and churches, because our content really helps us get connections with people. And those connections, digital connections, physical connections, they all need to be engaging in a community. And that's really the challenge. I had this conversation yesterday with Tope. This is what a lot of the established church and even some of our global orgs, this is what they don't understand yet. Because there's a lot of content, there's a lot of media to movement type of things where we're creating these ads, and we're trying to get these people to accept Christ based off online ads and stuff like that. And that's a good step to make that connection with the ad. But really, the part that's missing is this, not the connections, it's community. Like He Gets Us, for example. They spend all this money for ads up top, and then they try to get salvations. They try to get people connected into church, and the goal is to get people connected in church. But the conversion rate, like the completion of the funnel, is, I want to say 1.5%. I don't know the actual number. Andy may remember, but if actually, I don't think Andy's on anymore. But he and I have seen the official numbers, and it's low, and that's the dirty secret globally. Like a lot of these global organizations that are doing work in the Middle East, MENA region, Middle East, North Africa, in the top 10 unreached countries of the world. Digital has extreme power in that space. But digital is, they don't understand the community aspect, and the importance of having a community to slow bake relationships, to give people an opportunity to process and work through it. They're still trying to bank on the, hey, I'm going to raise my hand and accept Christ at the end of the sermon, and digitally, a very small percentage of people are going to do that. Um, and so that's really what we want to be here with the Church Digital, is a model community. I said this in the email. I want to be the paradigm model of this digital discipleship community. I want to have this thing working so well. Churches will look at us and want to copy paste what they've got. Okay, maybe not Discord. Maybe they'll go somewhere else. But the goal would be to understand that in order to really achieve evangelism and discipleship digitally at an effective scale, at a high scale, you're going to have to involve community in that aspect. I talked about this. I talk about this when I do my talk with PushPay a lot. 2023 U.S. Surgeon General, who, by the way, I'm trying to get a podcast with the U.S. Surgeon General because of this. That would be crazy, but I've got a friend that's good friends with the Surgeon General. Actually, my wife went to school with the Surgeon General. The U.S. Surgeon General was, I can't think of the guy's name right now, but he's from Miami. He went to Miami Palmetto Senior High School, and so, but the U.S. Surgeon General came out in 2023 and cited was it a epidemic of loneliness. He said that that we have all. I mean, the direct line was we have all these tools of connectivity, and our kids, our teenagers, are alone. They're lonely. They're depressed. They're isolated. We've got all the opportunities, and we're not. It's not working. And it's interesting. You can look this up. He created a 6-pillar attack of how he thinks we, America, should address the epidemic of loneliness that's attacking our country. This is the U.S. Surgeon General. This is not a Christian, which is why it'd be really interesting if I can effectively get him on the podcast. But what he thinks is, it's actually pillar number 4 of his 6-pillar attack, is more effective use of digital community. All of these tools are of loneliness. A lot of them are digitally based. Kids aren't going out on dates. They're not being social. They're not connected. What are we going to do? How do we help them get better? How do we help them get more connected? We need to utilize digital community better. I was shocked. I'm a digital community guy, and even I'm like, dang, you go. I love the fact Wes Brooks shows up for a lot of the streams and the open offices and things. Wes, I'm going to brag on you for a second. I don't know this. I'm guessing this. I think Wes just is sitting at his desk coding. Wes rarely turns the camera on. He doesn't even like talk in the microphone. He'll type away at something. But he's just engaging, watching, and just working away. Some of you might be right now working and writing and doing stuff. And so, you're listening to me rant. You may be fully engaged, sitting down at your computer, watching me on a big screen, or I may be minimized, a little thumbnail up at the top of the screen, just talking away, and you're loosely connected. Either way, there's an opportunity here digitally to engage, to connect. You're listening to what I'm saying. Wes does a little shiny face emoji. Who was it? Stacy shares her homepage and is contributing to the conversation that way. Like, there's ways to passively and actively be involved in the conversation, which is one of the reasons why I love Discord. And actually, I love streaming because I think it's a good mix of passive and active. And so, new survey finds loneliness epidemic runs deep among parents. Flat cap, I actually talk about that one in my PushPay talk as well. I know that because Ohio State. Oh, I hate Ohio State. Oh my gosh. I just get sick to the stomach even just thinking of the words Ohio State. A Buckeye. None of you are Ohio State Buckeye fans, are you? Like, I may have to ask you to leave. Like, there's one thing in life I cannot stomach, and it's a Buckeye fan. Maybe number 2 would be Michigan, but Michigan's growing on me, and I don't want to offend Chino, who is a Michigan fan from back in the day. Actually, Florida. I did not like Florida State until Bobby Bowden recruited me to play football for him. And so I did not play football for Bobby Bowden, but I love the fact that the dude actually cared enough about me to have a conversation with me. And so I was not as big of a football. I was not a great football player in high school. I was a great leader, and I was co-captain of the football team, but it was more of a leader capacity than it was a skill set or talent. And that was something Bobby liked or said he liked about me. So now I guess somebody could like fake Bobby Bowden's voice on AI and totally do that deep fake conversation. But that's Wes Brooks. Reason I kept coming back because there's not enough innovators in this space in my neighborhood. Ironically, even when I'm in the middle of a major missions neighborhood, specifically just being a part of a community that believes we can make disciples digitally always deeply encourages my soul. Something I need even when writing code in the middle of Starbucks. Yeah, so you're in Starbucks doing this? It's interesting. So thank you for saying that. I mean that's innovators get shot, settlers get rich. So we're the community, we're the hospital where people get shot. And I honestly, my mortgage may disagree with me, but I would rather be the guy that's getting shot than getting rich. I have always positioned myself on that bleeding edge. Um, I can't help it. I literally don't know what to do there. So I don't understand. We said this in the interview with Andy. I'm doing the Church Digital podcast releasing on Monday. Um, that episode. I literally don't understand why more churches are not taking advantage of asynchronous, Slack or Discord. It is unfathomable to me. Like it's not, hey Jeff, you're just way ahead of the curve. This is so plainly and simply answering so many problems, yet the church is oblivious to it. Even during COVID, like it was. That's the thing. It's like it was streaming. According to PushPay, 91% of churches are streaming their church services at this point. 90% consider their ministry hybrid. And it's incredible to me that nobody's taking advantage of that. I guess there's maybe half a dozen churches, and it's like Lux. It's like the digital only crowd that's really doing it. Very very few, if any, physical churches are even trying it at this point. I just And when I have conversations, because one of my talks that I do, I really do a hard push on async, talking a decentralized model of async and telling pastors to release control of their church, and let the church reproduce itself. Um, it's so funny when I do that talk. It's deer in headlights, like the men and women in the room that listen to me talk. Oh my gosh, Jeff, I've never thought of it that way, and it's foreign to me why the idea is so how the church got to the place that it is, that digital community cannot be community, that digital community has to be in the brick and mortar building. I mean, heaven forbid we actually see persecution and can no longer go to the buildings. Heaven forbid we become a post-Christian society like England, like Germany, and all these buildings become museums. I'm actually really curious what Inyi's going to say, so I want to pay attention to that once he presses enter there. It was really, it was really great to meet you the other day. I enjoyed our conversation, and I'm looking forward to working with your team. And I am late for a call. I'm supposed to be on a Zoom call right now with Jack, who I've met, and we're going to talk about the Church Digital. We need the persecution in night. I want you to look at what Inyi just said. We need the persecution in Nigeria. I want to freaking, oh my gosh, I can't believe we're going to end on that note. I would blow off this other call, but I can't. I have to go. Wow. I don't know what to say right now. How screwed up are we? Oh my gosh. Thank you. You made this stream, sir. I think that may have been the only thing you typed the entire time. But that challenged me in ways that I will not forget anytime soon. Hey, Inyi, I am very confident that we're going to get you with Tope, and it's going to be awesome. Everybody else, thank you for making yesterday incredible. Thank you for the opportunities, the celebrations, the the potential of what Discord can be. I'm still seeing people come in, and so from the bottom of my heart, thank you for even supporting the Church Digital and joining this ragtag group of Misfit Toys. Appreciate y'all. Have a great weekend. Enjoy May the 4th. May the 4th be with you, in ye. God bless you, my friend. I'm praying for you in Nigeria. All right, y'all. Thank you very much. Y'all have a good one.